Make your weekend plans now. My suggestion, head to the theater. I sit down with an actor from the production Somewhere. Ever get overwhelmed in the wine aisle? I do. We make wine tasting fun with the Blind Vine app. And the Transplant Games, yeah, they're coming to Denver. These events are the biggest celebration of life ever. Colorado & Company starts right now.
Portions of Colorado & Company contain paid content.
Good friends, gonna get you through the day. Good friends.
All right, y'all, the neighborhood pool is about to open. That means the swimsuit's coming out of the closet. For some people, this can cue an eye roll and a sigh. It's hard. It's a hard season, swimsuit season. Okay, Nick Tverdik from ARIA Integrative Health has multiple technologies that he says can melt inches and firm you up in just a few weeks with zero downtime.
Yes.
What are you, a wizard? Hi, Nick. Good to see you.
No.
Okay, Nick, let's get real. We all know that it's inches we care about. You always talk about that when we talk about body contouring. It's not the number on the scale.
No.
You say we can lose inches in just 30 days and do it in a healthy way.
It all really depends on what the patient has going on.
Okay.
Right? So when we have a patient come in, we fully customize each individual program for each patient. So we've been around 15 years. We've treated 17,000 patients. We're a functional, integrative, regenerative medicine clinic. So we don't want to get to the root cause of what's going on with our patients. So if your A1C is elevated and you're insulin resistant, we want to correct that.
Yeah,
and we can see dramatic weight loss quickly, and we do it the right way because we're actually paying attention to the body composition, not just the number that's on the scale.
Right.
Now, the utilization of technology to go along with that is so amazingly powerful because we can protect muscle, we can build muscle, we can permanently destroy fat pockets that have bothered you forever.
years.
We do a whole bunch of GI mapping and correcting GI stuff where a lot of people are really distended. We want to flatten that. Hard, yeah.
I sometimes have that bloating kind of feeling.
Yeah, so we want to actually get to the root cause of what's going on. If you're constantly bloating and you're distended, and that's not a normal thing. That's not a healthy thing. So we actually want to get to the root cause, and we can see dramatic changes quickly in combination with technology, Sculpt Neo, Sculpture. We can skin tighten, treat cellulite. We have 25 different machines, so we can completely customize, tweak, multimodality, but our whole goal is that you look better, you feel better, and you're healthier, not only during this time, but forever.
Right, you're like a nerd and an artist.
Yeah, a nerdy artist.
Yeah, nerdy artist.
I'll take
Okay,
it.
the midsection, we were just talking about it, the bloating, and it's such an issue for women and men.
Yes.
Like, let's be honest. And you do all these core things, and like nothing works to bring the belly down. So what do you have that can help just that section?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so this is a great thing because so many people are like, oh, I keep doing sit-ups and I'm not losing the that's not how this works, everybody. The areas that you work out, you're not going to lose fat from. That's not how this works. Now, we can utilize technology to spot target that. So especially when we're talking about men, it's a lot of that hard distended stomach. So that is visceral fat.
Okay.
We have the only option in the entire world that is able to target and permanently destroy visceral fat in Sculpt Neo, and then we would combine that with whether it be medical weight loss, GLP-1s, or whatever it is. Sculpt Neo.
Okay.
We're one of the top providers in the entire world. We teach many other clinics about what this machine can do, but in conjunction with everything that we're doing, we're able to show people dramatic changes quickly with this technology, along with the functional health side of things, so that you look better, you feel better, you're healthier long term. But we want to increase quality of life. Like this particular patient, this is a sculpture patient, but that is utilizing technology to target fat pockets that she could not get rid of. Look at her inner thighs and her outer thighs.
I was just thinking the thighs look so different.
Yeah, completely changed her entire body composition. And we did it with tech. And we're making sure that these patients aren't losing muscle. They're actually gaining muscle with us. We're toning, we're lifting.
And no surgery, no pain.
surgery.
That's
we don't do
insane.
any surgery whatsoever.
That's insane.
This is about utilizing tech along with the functional health side to see results we've never been able to do before, and we just keep getting better and better and better.
She looks so good. Oh, okay, we talked about inches, but I also noticed my body changing based on how like my clothes are fitting, like you know, the jeans. So there's something called Sculpture.
Yes.
What is that?
So Sculpture is totally different than Neo. Where Neo is we're building muscle and permanently destroying visceral fat along with subcutaneous. Sculpture is the best option to spot target just that soft, squishy fat that you can't get rid of with diet or exercise.
Soft, squishy fat.
Yeah, well, we can kill it. So we've known for about 45 years that heat kills fat, and at what temperature. We are now able to maintain that temperature zone where we're destroying fat tissue permanently without damaging any other tissue. This is the actual procedure being done. And this video is really important for everybody to understand. That heat spreads. So you're never going to be left with any uneven results or demarcation like you can get with other technology that's specifically utilizing cold. So with sculpture, we're killing more fat per treatment than any other option on the market. We're not damaging any other tissue besides your fat cells, which is very different than technologies utilizing cold. But then you get that even distribution of that fat cell death. It's no lumpiness. So we're able to utilize this and show people amazing results in just those pockets they can't get rid of with diet or exercise. We want to restore confidence and quality of life in our patients, and utilizing technology is really where that switch gets turned on.
I like how tech is now, we're in the future. The future is now. Okay,
we're doing some pretty amazing things.
It is amazing. What about combining all of this tech, right, with weight loss medicine? I'm talking GLP, the Ozempic, Wegovy. I could go on and on. Do you offer both?
Absolutely. And, well, that's part of it, right? So if you come in and your A1C is high, you're insulin resistant, or your hormones can be all out of whack.
Right.
I was seeing a woman earlier today where she's tried all these things, and they're just saying, oh, it's just part of being a woman and getting older.
That's what always happens.
And that's, it fires me up.
Me too.
It's amazing how gaslit women are.
Amen.
And it's wrong. So we actually want to get to the root cause. Are your hormones way out of whack? Are you in perimenopause? Are you in menopause? Because that can completely destroy your metabolism. We can turn everything back on with bioidentical hormones, along with GLP-1s, correct the insulin resistance, see dramatic weight loss, along conjunction with the technology. And that's where the
nerd and
magic
artist.
is.
The nerd and the artist.
Yes.
Do you see that? That's your new name. All right, call Nick, y'all, and his team at RE Integrative Health and ask about supervised medical weight loss and ways to maintain your goal weight without, as he said, losing muscle, tone. You can tighten and reduce. Call now for a free consultation, 303-953-2899. You can also see more online. If you just want to browse, ariaintegrativehealth.com is the website. They sponsor today's segment. Tomorrow we stop, laugh, and roll. It's tortilla time. Again, a massa effort to support a spectacular community organization. How you can put some dough toward the cause. Dance, family bonds, and a whole lot of hope. That's what it's all packed into this production somewhere. It's now playing in Denver. Bella Serrano, I'm very excited to have you here, who plays Rebecca, is in the show, and she stopped by Coco today. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
You're gorgeous.
Thank you. So are you.
Thank you. Let's just talk about that for the rest of the night. So, Bella, tell us about the show Somewhere.
Yeah, so Somewhere is a play about a Puerto Rican family in New York City, 1959, 1960, that they're working together to achieve their dreams. They're actors, dancers, most importantly dreamers, and a huge beacon of hope for this family is West Side Story, which was on Broadway at the time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Rita Moreno. I mean, I love West Side Story. I'm a musical girl. So,
Yeah,
so it incorporates the West Side Story part into this.
Yes, yes. So there's pieces of choreography from West Side Story that are in the play, as well as absolutely.
A little jets and
there
sharks,
are snaps,
if
of
you
course.
will, if you will.
And we had an incredible music designer who added elements from the musical as well as original compositions that just immerse you into the world completely.
That's such a cool concept. Okay, I want to touch on the hope aspect of the show. It's something that people can lose. I've lost it. I've been very open with the audience. How does the show help the audience find hope?
This family is so resilient, even through the toughest of times, and they never give up on their dreams. And so I hope that when an audience member comes to see the show, they leave feeling inspired to pursue what they've always wanted to.
Right, to keep going.
Yeah.
Especially like artists in the 1959.
Absolutely.
That's hard work, grueling work. So that's great. Tell us more about your character. You play Rebecca.
Yes.
Okay, tell us about her.
Rebecca,
Rebecca?
Yes, or Becky is her nickname.
Got it.
She is the youngest in the family.
Oh, you're the baby.
I am the baby. I play 15 and 16 years old, a little younger than I am.
It's my age. It's fine.
Yeah, no, of course, of course. She is, in my opinion, the biggest outward dreamer of them all. She is fierce and determined, and she's a dancer, and she aspires to be on Broadway.
Amazing.
Specifically West Side Story, of course.
Amazing. I want to be in America.
Yes.
Sorry, there's a lot there. I can
No,
do the whole thing.
Get up, do the dance.
I know. I want to be in America. Okay, sorry. So, was there anything special you had to specifically learn to get? Are you already a dancer?
I went to school for musical theater.
Nice.
So I studied dance there,
Nice.
and I danced as a child as well. So this was a wonderful opportunity to get back into that. We
Yeah,
had
I
an
bet.
incredible choreographer, Maite Natalio, who incorporated so many different styles of dance.
Nice.
So Rebecca specifically does some ballet, some swing dancing, and some choreography inspired by West Side Story. So it's
Wow.
a beautiful way that this play incorporates movement
Yeah.
that just helps drive the story home.
Oh man, I love this. This is like up my
It's
alley.
so fun.
If you could pick a perfect audience for the show, who would be in the audience? Would it be children? Would it be adults? Who
There are some curse words.
Okay, so maybe it's a little spicy. Okay, a little spicy.
But I think so many people can see themselves within this family. It's very relatable, but it's also so funny.
Oh, that's
and
great.
there's so much heart to it.
That's great.
You're gonna leave laughing, crying, just filled with so much joy, and I think it's a wonderful way to spend a night at the theater.
That's amazing. I love when people walk out and you can hear people being like buzz, 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 buzz. and they're
If you
like,
feel the
You
electricity.
can. You can
Yes,
feel the energy in the room.
absolutely.
I did theater as well, and it's a great feeling. You are successfully making it right now. Advice for someone out there is like, well, I want to do that. What advice would you give that you sort of wish you had taken or heard before you went out? Or maybe you did and you think it's great advice.
Keep showing up.
Yeah.
It's a journey,
Yeah.
and every single audition and all the people that you meet along the way, they make the experience. It's not going to be one and done.
Right.
It's about creating those relationships and showing up.
Yeah, I was
Keep
going to
going.
say,
Yeah.
keep showing. 99%
showing
of
up.
life is just showing up.
Yeah.
Wow, well, I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
Somewhere is playing over at the Denver Center of Performing Arts now through May 31st. Y'all can get tickets now at denvercenter.org. Rebecca will be such a good character. Thank you, Bella, so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's amazing. They sponsored today's segment. Well, the things you need to do to spot a stroke. Y'all, this can save a life, even your own. That info is coming up in our interview with Common Spirit Health. When Colorado and Company returns, we're putting my senses to the test with the app Blind Vine. Let's get ready for that. Welcome back to Colorado and Company. All right, let's be honest. We've all stood in that wine aisle pretending we know what notes of blackberry and oak actually mean. I'm always like, vanilla? I don't have any idea. But what if finding your perfect wine was way easier and way more fun? So the team behind Blind Vine is here to tell us all about their app. This is so exciting. Please welcome Eric, Scott, and Jeff, everybody, in ascending order, which I really like. I always go by the label.
exactly.
I'm always like, does the label look cool? Okay, let's jump right in. Eric, what is Blind Vine?
Yes, so Blind Vine turns any wine into a trivia game. And so think of it like game night meets
love
wine
trivia.
night. It is
Okay.
so fun. You will have a blast. So how it works, let's say you're hosting a dinner party.
Okay.
You're having some friends over. You would download the free app. You would invite your friends to join in your game at the same time. You'd pour the wines, and then you're trying to identify the tasting characteristics of the wine. So do you smell this? Do you see this? Do you taste this? Super fun. You'll have a blast.
Are you guys all wine people? You grew up with one. You're a wine.
Becoming one.
You're becoming one. Okay.
We're trying.
This
Yeah.
is a great idea. So this is a free app. That's also good.
Yes.
Eric, some of our viewers, they feel overwhelmed because picking it's a little pretentious. I don't
Yep.
mean, but it's a bit snobby, you know?
Yep.
Is this an oak casket? You know what I mean? Tell me how this is breaking that stigma.
Honestly, that is one of the main reasons we built this in the
Right?
first place.
Okay.
And so, yeah, like we know that it's a little snobby and a little
Yeah.
pretentious, and we try to flip that on its head and get
love
rid of all of that. So even if you look at like the front of our box, it says a wine tasting game for people who can't even pronounce sommelier, or maybe
so
you say
smart.
sommelier or whatever you say.
Yes, so
And so,
good.
yes, it is approachable and welcoming and inviting for everybody.
This is a a hole in the industry you guys are filling. This is so smart. Very, very smart.
Yeah.
Let's get into the game. We're doing a cut down version for TV purposes, which means I can't drink as much, which stinks. Scott, let's start with sight. So the first question I'd ask is, how would you describe the color of this wine? Is that what I do?
Yep. Yeah, and the game comes with some hints along the way to kind of tell you how to judge these or kind of what it means to have a wine look.
Okay, I studied abroad in Italy, and are you supposed to do that?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, you kind of tip your glass forward, and then would like yellow work?
Yes. So straw, yellow, or gold are the three multiple choice, and
nice.
you peer through the rim just like you were at the top where it's
Yeah.
thinnest.
Okay.
And if you hold it against white background, that's another tip that will help you identify it. So what do you think it is?
I think this is like a straw.
A straw.
Or do you think it's golden? It's golden.
That one's gold.
Golden.
I'm sorry. It's okay though. It's okay.
But I can't feel bad. It's a game.
Exactly.
That's the whole point.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and then what about the reds? What do you say?
Well, so if you're playing the game, you would move on to the aroma of the red
okay,
here.
should we do aroma
we could
next?
do aroma, yeah.
Let's do aroma next.
smell.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do. I smell. What are some of the questions?
So one of the questions is like, what aroma do you smell? Is there notes of spice? Is there notes of no spice? And so the game will absolutely try to trip you up. So it's your job to, I guess, just decipher it all, and you'll see. You will swear that you smelled what you smelled,
Right.
and then it will be wrong.
Okay, can I say this one?
Please.
I feel like this is a little fruitier, not
one-
spicy.
That one is.
That one is fruity.
On it.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, now to end the game, Eric, perhaps the most important, the taste. This is
Yes,
my favorite. Okay.
yes.
Give me an example of, do you taste like roasted coffee? Like what is that about?
That is absolutely one of the questions I think in this wine that you're trying. Yes. So do you
This
taste?
one?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you taste coffee? Do you not? Curious your thoughts. See,
Yep.
yeah, get
Am I
the
supposed
air
to
in
get the air
there.
in there?
Exactly.
100%.
I think I do.
That is correct. There is coffee. So this is where it gets super fun because
so
everybody's answering the same question at the same time. So there's this big reveal.
Oh, that's
Half the room
clever.
is very frustrated and they're blaming the app. That's totally
Right.
wrong. No way. The other half's like, I nailed it.
This
and
is
so it's
so
super
smart.
fun.
And then you're getting tipsy along the way as you're doing this.
Exactly.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Yes.
Who came up with this idea?
This was me and my wife during COVID. What
COVID idea.
We took an online course and we found it a little dense and boring, and we're like, there's got to be a more fun way to learn about wine.
I can't even think of another place where I could have fun and not feel uncomfortable doing this.
100%,
What are you guys' favorite wines? Are you red or white?
I go red.
Red all the time. Are you like a Barolo? Like a
Give me a heavy red.
You like a heavy red. I do
100%,
too. Like
yeah.
Amarone,
Yeah.
all that.
Yeah,
I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, what about you?
Big cabs, kind of.
Big cab. Okay, big bold. What about you?
Cab. I'm also cab.
Okay.
Yes.
Screw the Pinot Grigio.
Exactly. We don't
need
want
you
that.
at all. Okay, this is amazing. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. I think this is brilliant. I really, really do. You can find blind vine kits at liquor stores across the Front Range. Oh, it's so smart. You sell it at liquor stores.
Yep. Liquor stores and
I'm
online.
really
Yes.
into this. Okay, you can also get them online at getblindvine.com. They are giving a special discount just for Colorado and Company viewers. Just use the code COCO15. This also makes a really good gift.
Perfect
If you're walking in and you're like, here's a whatever, this makes such a better gift.
Wedding gift, bachelorette parties, it's very popular.
Clever,
all
clever.
of that. Yes.
Oh, so smart. All right. Also, remember to please drink responsibly. Well, can you feel it? That's right. Good Friends Friday is only 2 sleeps away. This week, we have Jordan Huey. She's taking the Studio B stage. Join us on Friday.
The following interview involves commercial content. The products and services featured appear as paid advertising.
Well, thanks for staying with us on Colorado and Company. It's time for a very important Healthy Colorado conversation. When it comes to a stroke, it is so important that we know the signs and act quickly, and we learn what time is brain means. That is the slogan for strokes, and we want to know that. So we're joined right now by Dr. Brian Chong, board certified in neurointerventional surgery. Dang, that's a good title.
You can say it.
You can say, of course, I'm somewhat smart. He's also with Common Spirit Health at St. Anthony Hospital. Okay, we are talking about stroke a couple times this month because it's so important for our viewers. I'm sure many of you know someone or yourself had that. Dr. Chong, please go through the symptoms we see with a stroke so our viewers can understand that we need to look out for?
Sure. Love that you're talking about this a
Me
couple
too.
times a month during Stroke Awareness Month.
Absolutely. And my
Yeah.
mom had 7, so this is near and dear to my heart. Yeah.
Yeah. So the symptoms that we really want to look out for are manifested by the acronym Be Fast.
Be fast,
Be
okay.
fast. B for balance. So if your loved one or someone you're with at the time all of a sudden loses their balance, that's one of the symptoms.
Like a little wobbly.
Wobbly,
Yeah.
but acute onset,
I see.
meaning sudden onset. Okay. The second is eyesight changes. So if they suddenly lose their vision, doesn't matter. Usually it's one half of your visual field. Sometimes it's one eye. Just any acute, again, sudden onset of loss of vision or visual disturbance.
Interesting.
That's the second sign.
I hadn't known about that.
Yeah. F, face. Face drooping. So one side of the face, loss of the smile, droopy eyelid or something like that. Again, another symptom.
I asked my mom to smile and half didn't.
Yeah.
And that's when we knew.
That's exactly right. That's
Okay.
when you know. The other thing is arm, A for arm or leg weakness.
Okay.
And that's usually manifest by not being able to lift up your arm or falling because all of a sudden one leg is weak.
I got it. So you ask them what, raise your arms?
Yeah,
and
just
one
raise
does-
your arm up,
and
and if
one
they can't, and one doesn't, or raise both arms up.
I see.
That's a sign of stroke. The other one is speech. So sudden loss of speech.
Mm.
Sometimes it's complete loss of speech. Sometimes it's just slurring of the speech.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're saying things that just don't make sense.
That's right.
So a sudden, again, disturbance of
Onset.
speech.
Okay.
Any of those things, T for time. Time to call 911.
Got
and
it.
time is of the essence. We can't overemphasize that.
Yeah, because there's things they can do, y'all, if you get there in time.
Precisely.
Which is so important.
Absolutely.
And time is brain tissue that's leaving us.
yeah.
So talk to us about time is brain and how rapid treatment can impact patients, because if you get there, your whole prognosis after can be completely different.
Absolutely. So that's one thing you can control or the patient can control as
Yeah.
well if they're still able to call 911. Call 911 immediately. Don't take an aspirin. Don't get in the car to drive them here. God forbid, don't drive yourself here.
Fair.
Call 911.
Got it.
So what that refers to, time is brain, refers to the effect, the impact that time has, as you've already described to us, when the brain doesn't get enough oxygen. So let's back up a little bit. A stroke is actually an obstruction of blood flow in the blood vessel.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so if the blood can't get through, then your brain cells, neurons, don't get oxygen and they die. Back in 2006, many people in our specialty looked at that and looked at what is the human impact of
Right.
stroke. 1.9 million brain cells, neurons, die each minute when there's no blood getting to
Is
the
that
brain.
right?
Looked at another way, approximately 3.6 years of your brain ages, so 3.6 years aging with loss of those neurons.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
so
every-
seconds count.
Every minute counts, every second counts,
Oh
absolutely,
my gosh.
Tori. Yeah.
Even if you think the worst that can happen is they say you're not having a stroke. You know what I mean?
Right,
Just
right.
if you feel it, go there. So neurointerventional surgery has transformed
Mm-hmm.
stroke care in the recent years. Talk to us about like what that is.
Yeah, so the surgery part is actually going in there and extracting the clot, the cause of a stroke in this instance.
And that's what you do.
That's what we do.
Wow.
So many of us in this field have worked on this for years, and the goal is to be minimally invasive.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want to have to open up the head and try to get down to the blood vessel. So we want to be very minimally invasive, very quick,
Yeah.
and very efficient.
That's a high pressure job.
It's a task that we have to do.
Yeah.
Remember, 1.9 million brain cells every minute.
Yeah, years are going by at this point. Wow.
So the
You can
efforts,
handle it.
so the efforts are focused on the basic principles. Either you take the clot out.
Yes.
Think of a straw obstructed with some Jello, for example. You want to aspirate or suck the clot out, or you want to pull the clot out mechanically.
Wow.
So there are many different technologies that focus on those things.
Okay.
It's all image guided.
Sure.
So we don't have to open up the head. We can go through small incision just over your hip bone, get into that artery, thread our instruments through the artery up into the brain very quickly, but very safely.
That's incredible. And then you can like see the clot sometimes when it
Yes.
comes. Unbelievable.
Yes,
For our
yes.
viewers watching, what should they know about, you know, if they're ever in a stroke emergency, they have to call 911.
Right.
Even if you can't speak, you can at least, they'll know at some point? Yeah.
The EMS services are wonderful at this type of thing. They know when you call 911, what to look out for.
Okay.
They'll ask you questions, and simultaneously they'll be calling EMS to send them to the house right away.
Yeah, and when you're in an ambulance, I just know this, you get taken right. You bypass the waiting room, which is so important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There are teams at St. Anthony's Hospital and Lakewood here and other hospitals where we are fully prepared to receive people like that. We consider this a brain attack, if you will, equivalent to a heart attack.
Yeah, so it's time is brain.
Time is brain.
So important. Human kindness is what Common Spirit Health is all about. Please visit their website to learn more about the signs of stroke. Again, y'all can save a life or your own. Go to mountain.commonspirit.org. Find more interviews, information on 9news.com/Healthy Colorado. This Healthy Colorado segment is sponsored by Common Spirit Health. Thank you, Doc. I really appreciate it. Absolutely. Well, change up your lunch game with salads that are actually filling. I know, it seems like an oxymoron, right? Chef Mary shares her recipes. Toss it up with us later in the show. When Colorado and Company returns, bring on the life-affirming stories and champions. Get to know the Transplant Games. It's coming up next. I can't wait for this. Oh, that was Forrest Gump right there. The 2026 Transplant Games are coming to the Mile High City. Transplant recipients, living donors, and donor families will all come together, oh, I'm gonna cry, to compete and celebrate life. We are so happy to have friend of the show, Mark McIntosh here, along with Team Rocky Mountain Captain Andrew Menard and living organ donor, Nadia Gonzalez. Hello, you three.
Hi.
Hello. It's good to see you all. All right, Mark, tell us about the Transplant Games, what they're all about, because people come from all over the country, right?
Yes. We're expecting 12,000 people.
Stop.
The games have been around since 1990, held every other year, and it's just considered the world's largest celebration of life. We're going to celebrate life, honor those making it happen, like our donors in the healthcare,
Amen.
Educate about organ donation, and try to inspire people to better health and to donate more often.
12,000? I was not expecting that number. That's phenomenal. So Andrew, as an organ recipient, what can you share about the importance of organ donation? By the way, everyone should be one on your license plate when you sign up, and your driver's license, everyone. And how has it impacted your life?
Well, that incredible gift not only saved my life, but it affected my family, my students, and the community around me. After transplant, I went on to teach over 500 more students.
We bow down to teachers here. We always bow down.
And continued to mentor new teachers. So that's what a lot of people don't realize about organ donation, is that the impact reaches far beyond one person.
There's a ripple.
And yes, it ripples out in ways that you really can't measure.
And what did you receive? Was it a kidney?
A kidney, yes.
Wow, unbelievable. Andrew, Team Rocky Mountain is our team. Yay, team.
There you go.
Woohoo! Share more about how you're preparing the games with the team.
How I'm preparing the
Yeah,
games?
and what do you guys play? I mean, what?
There's over 20 competitions ranging from ballroom dancing, Texas Hold'em, cornhole, pickleball, basketball, cycling, track.
Lyrics
and
for
field.
life, you can sing.
There's all kinds of events.
Oh, this sounds like so much fun. What a celebration. Cornhole. I'm terrible, but that's my favorite one. Okay, Nadia, we're gonna get to you. You have been a giver, a living donor, which is, I can't bow down far enough to say thank you. You're pumped up for the games too. Why was it important for you to give back in this way? What helped you make the decision?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us here.
We're honored to have you
here. To educate our, community. Making this choice to give the gift of life has been an honor for me. And I'm healthy with one kidney. And what inspired me was I actually saved the life of 2 people through the National Kidney Foundation kidney swap. My kidney went to a female in North Carolina. Haven't met her yet, but I hope my kidney's good to her. And I actually sponsored my student's father. He had been on dialysis for 3.5 years.
Oh, that's so hard.
And he was able to receive his kidney a lot sooner, right? And that's just been an honorable experience for me to be able to do that. And my students get to see their dad every day.
Is this the family right here?
Yes, it is.
Oh my
Yeah,
word.
that is now my brother Norberto.
Of course.
And those are my students, and they call me auntie now.
Do they?
Yes.
I mean, you're part of that family.
Absolutely.
I mean, literally and figuratively, you're
Yes.
part of them.
Yes.
Oh, that makes you cry.
And being a Latina woman, to be able to get educated on the importance of this, we're here because we want to educate others, and people of color, we are in the greatest need of organ transplants. And I mean, right now there's over 10,000 people waiting for that gift of life. And I'm honored to have been able to do that to my student's dad. And I'm grateful.
You're just an angel. That's just an angel walking on earth. Unbelievable. Mark, I'm sorry, now I'm crying. Now everyone's weeping. We're all mascara. Mark, how can we all get involved? Let's say someone's watching. We want to support
Sure.
Team Rocky Mountain
Yeah.
in the Transplant Games.
Well, you know, so there's 21 competitions, but there's about 5 of them that are open to anybody.
Okay, so
general
anybody
public,
can come.
anybody.
Okay.
The 5K is a really big one. It's
got it.
almost one of the most popular events for these games. And so just people that are interested, they can obviously compete in the 5K. I think we've got the website. Just go to transplantgamesofamerica.org.
Easy.
You can figure out how to participate in the 5K, Lyrics for Life, some other things, and then also how to volunteer or how to support.
What an amazing organization to volunteer for and work on. In one sentence, I want you all to just think of, you can take a second, but how organ donation or recipients of organ donation changed your life. So Mark, I'm gonna start with you.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, you know, I was diagnosed at 64 with a rare blood cancer, incurable, and you know, had chemo and dialysis for 15 months until a 68-year-old woman in Pueblo shared her spare and saved my life. God has blessed me with a second chance at life. And I, thanks to Kathy Hitchcock and great medical care, and I just feel God calling me to go out there and educate others about organ donation and wellness.
Way to pass it on.
Yeah,
Way to pass
yeah.
it on. That's unbelievable. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad.
So-
How about you?
I am too.
So am I. Yeah.
Yeah, well, similar. I had polycystic kidney disease, which I inherited from my father.
Genetic, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, he didn't get a life-saving transplant, but I learned a lot from watching his journey and what I needed to try to do differently. So I was fortunate to receive a living donor kidney prior to having to go on dialysis. And like I said, it allowed me to keep working and doing a lot of things and just having that effect go beyond just me and my family.
I was going to say that I think your students and your family are also just so part of that. That's so great that you mentioned that. And Nadia, what do you think, for an angel that you are? What would be a sentence that sums it up for you?
You know, I maintained a good lifestyle up until now in health, and this is just encouraging me to keep that, you know, and stay healthy and educate our community, Latinos, people of color. If I could do it again, I would. I'm honored. And for me, it just means the world to be able to see my students thrive, and they can see their dad thrive as well, and see them graduate, go to college.
Unbelievable.
You know,
walking down the aisle. It's
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's all because of you.
Oh.
Give me your hand. I'm so proud of you, and I'm so grateful for you guys for being here. Ooh! Well, the Transplant Games is the largest celebration of life for living donors, transplant recipients, and donor families. If that's you, or you want to just participate in the games, for more information, to donate, to get involved, go to transplantgamesofamerica.org, as Mark said, or we have a QR code. It's right on your screen right now. Take a picture, a screenshot, share this with your friends. I can't thank you enough for all being here, and I'm so glad you all are all here. I'm so glad. Welcome back. We are smack dab in the middle of National Preservation Month. Jay Homestead, am I saying that right?
Homestead.
Homestead, oh, I like that, okay. From historic Denver is on the Cocoa Couch today to tell us about everything that's going on. I can't wait to hear this. So, Jay, what exactly is Preservation Month and why is it so important?
Sure. Preservation Month has its roots going back to the 1970s, and really it's just a way to celebrate the social and economic benefits of reusing existing buildings.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so smart. That's very clever. Colorado is like so rich in history. There's so many buildings that are important, but I want to talk specifically about the Molly Brown House, which is like one of my favorites. It's the museum, of course. What's happening there?
Well, right now we have a Titanic exhibit that started last month, yes, and so it's going through the summer, and we have some artifacts, one of which is really cool. It's a letter that was actually written on the ship, and it was mailed just before the ship left its last port of call to go across the Atlantic.
Because if you don't know, the unsinkable Molly Brown survived the Titanic. There she is. She was an incredible human being. Incredible. That's amazing.
KUSA-TV right there.
Oh, wow.
She had that in her pocket during the sinking.
Whoa. I got to get to this exhibit. That sounds phenomenal. Well, talk to me about other places we should consider visiting or like learning more about.
Sure, there are a lot of great places around the city in historic, a lot of great businesses in historic buildings, so lots of restaurants and things. But one thing I'd recommend, go to the Daniels and Fisher Clock Tower on 16th Street.
Nice.
Historic Denver operates tours there during the week and on the weekends, and you get to go all the way up to the top observation deck, has great views of downtown. So something I would definitely check out.
That's a fun family activity too.
Definitely,
oh,
yeah.
I love that. You can go all the way up. Okay. Preservation Month is also the opening of nominations for Historic Denver's 2026 Annual Awards Program. What is that? Tell us all about it.
Sure. So we've been doing this going all the way back to our founding in 1970. We recognize the people and projects that are making a difference in the city. And so people who, have dedicated their life to civic work, or somebody who's an accidental preservationist, or just community preservation projects, things that are really bringing the community together. And so we do this call out for nominations during National Preservation Month from May 1st to the 31st, and then we celebrate the award winners at our annual gala, which is held at the Brown Palace every year. This year it'll be October 29th.
Wow.
And we're one of only 3 organizations they close their lobby for. It's the Debutantes, the Prize-winning Steer, and
you guys.
Historic Denver.
Heck yeah, what an honor that is. Oh my God, that's amazing. On top of that, you're gearing up for a fun event called Cocktails in Cool Places. I love this. What do we need to know?
Well, so it's a progressive cocktail party that's going to go through 3 different sites in the historic Wyman neighborhood. We do a different neighborhood every year. And so the Wyman neighborhood, think of East Colfax and Race, sort of around that area.
Yeah.
You're going to go to Castle Marne, it's a bed and breakfast. Then you're going to go to Flora House Denver, which is also another bed and breakfast. Both of those buildings designed by William Lang, who also designed the Molly Brown House.
Oh, wow.
And then you're going to go to a building built in 1911 that's a mortuary.
No way.
So a few different types of places this year.
And you get cocktails there. So tell me what you brought here today.
Well, so today we have some mocktails here for us that we, just to give the effect, the allure. Yes.
Cheers?
Yeah, we
to historic Colorado and for preservation.
Preservation
Such a
Month.
big part.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. That's nice and bubbly.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you guys still have a few weeks left to celebrate Preservation Month and to nominate, as Jay said, a person or a project for the 2026 awards. Just check out historicdenver.org. What a great organization. More cocoa coming up. Summertime means fresh veggies, fruits, and flavors. That's right, it's salad season, baby. Chef Mary stopped by with her fresh takes on salads that are actually filling. Take a look. All right, Chef Mary, where do we start to build a salad? Let's say you're just a new chef.
Right.
Where do we start to build a salad? How do we do that?
Well, salads, from my perspective, really means greens.
Okay.
Salads, greens. So start with a really great base of greens, so whether that's romaine or kale or arugula or even spinach.
Okay.
And then I love to add vegetables, lots of colorful vegetables.
This looks so pretty.
Yeah, thank you. Well, and imagine that's in your plate, right? So I love to add vegetables, but I also love to add fruit.
Oh,
because
nice.
I think that fruit or even like dried fruit.
Oh, nice.
Because I think
I hadn't
it
thought
brings
about
your
that.
salad to another level.
It does. Brings
Yeah.
it. Now we're going to romaine here.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Protein is like everywhere.
Yes.
How do we get, and sometimes it's like, you get a little protein, but like how can we add protein to a salad?
So
because I need more protein.
Oh, yeah, we all need more protein,
Yeah,
right?
we do.
So, chicken is fantastic.
Yeah, that looks great.
Salmon is great. You could do like steak, obviously. Say, for example, next day after dinner, you've got some leftover steak. Throw that on top of some greens that you have. But other options would be chickpeas.
Oh,
and
very high in protein.
Very high in protein. Beans are really high in protein.
Very good for you.
And then also nuts. So I love adding, almonds or
walnuts
to a salad because that also brings you a lot more protein.
Yeah, and for people who are also vegan or vegetarian, these are your options for the protein. Absolutely. I have friends who are like that. They're wonderful vegans and vegetarians.
Yeah.
But let's talk about dressing.
Yeah.
I'm just like a straight up balsamic.
Yeah.
I drench it. How do you know what dressing goes with what salad?
Yeah, so if you're, say, for example, you're doing like an Asian salad, go with an Asian twist, like a sesame dressing or a peanut
miso.
dressing. Yeah, exactly, a
okay.
miso dressing. If you're doing something a little bit lighter with a lot of greens and some fruit, go with something light, like a champagne vinaigrette.
Okay.
You know, typically with chicken, I like the creamier dressings.
Yeah,
you know?
is ranch?
You know,
you're like, stay away from ranch.
There's a reason why people love ranch.
I know.
Ranch is really great. It goes really great with your French fries too. But don't eat French fries because we're having salads.
That's right. That's right. So maybe not ranch. Maybe like a Caesar, tahini.
Absolutely, Caesar, a tahini dressing, and then that's going to give you a lot more protein as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
But I love just like an oil and vinegar. You know, if you're going to make something that has a lot of fruit and also cheeses, I like to add cheeses because it really adds a lot of depth.
Yeah.
You can go with a little bit lighter of a dressing because your ingredients are going to really stand out.
Okay, got it.
We've got our protein and then the grains. The grains, I love adding like a farro or a quinoa.
Yeah.
Because that really gives you more, it feels like a meal.
Yeah, right. It fills you up more.
You feel more satiated.
Yeah.
You know, say for example, you've got extra pasta, right? Or you've got like some noodles. You can chop those up and put that in a salad as well.
Yummy. All right, how do we make this salad?
All right, so we're gonna make a kale and farro salad.
Okay.
So I love kale because it does not forgive. You know, like you can actually make this the night before and like it's not gonna die.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, so farro is an ancient grain that I love, so let's throw that in there.
Okay. I listened to the Blue Zones. They say farro and beans like that are so good for people.
Exactly, and then the beans, right? Let's do some chickpeas in there.
Oh God, y'all know how I am with this food demonstration.
No, you're good. Throw it in. Throw it in. And then what I love is like with the salads, I like to make things a little bit different. So these carrots are roasted with honey.
Oh my God,
and a little bit of herbs.
yum.
So it's not just like raw carrots.
Wow. Yeah, that's kind of boring.
Literally, yeah, it's
with
like
honey.
roasted with honey.
Yum.
Yeah.
Okay, and this also adds color, which I think is nice.
Adds color, and then I love raisins with this salad.
I love a good raisin. I put raisins in my tacos.
Do you really?
Yeah, it's no one likes it, but I do. It's very good.
We make a tostada with raisins in it.
Do you?
At the
restaurant. I'm not
It's
crazy.
fantastic.
Okay,
You're not
good.
crazy.
Good to know. Okay.
All right, and then let's throw the sunflower seeds.
These are so good for you.
That's our crunch.
Got
That's
it.
our nut. And then this is the dressing. It's a citrus herb vinaigrette.
Okay. Oh, this looks. God, I love I like a really drenched salad. Okay.
All right, and then the tomatoes are gonna go in there as well.
Got it. Nice cherry tomatoes.
All right, so let's go ahead and
What about feta?
Let's just do half of that feta. Let's do half of that feta, and then we're gonna finish with the rest on top afterwards.
Okay.
There we go.
This feta be good.
This feta be good.
Sorry, I don't know why I do that with you every time.
Good.
Okay, and then this is what you do?
Yeah, just toss it.
Okay.
And then
I can't believe I'm not spilling.
You're doing such a great job.
Thank you.
And then check this out. I brought you tongs.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so we do this. We take some. Sorry, I'm kind of heavy-handed, as you all know.
Well, but look at that.
Ooh,
That's
that looks
literally
yummy.
a meal, right? And then say we throw some chicken on there, and you've got your grains, you've got your vegetables.
You've got a whole meal.
You've got a whole meal.
This looks delicious.
And then let's throw a little bit of feta on top.
Okay.
Just to finish that garnish.
Like a little Salt Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then we've got two different salads here. This is a quinoa salad.
Okay.
I've made it with arugula, cranberries, the same carrots.
Great.
And the cranberries are dried, so literally craisins.
Nice.
You know, so
Easy
I buy
to pick up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I buy those for my kids.
Yeah.
And then I also, for a snack at school, but then I also throw them in salad and then toasted almonds. And then a little bit of goat cheese. So why don't you try some of this?
Okay, please. This looks so good. It also smells really fresh. And for summer, you can go to a farmer's market. My friend just did that. Gets all the ingredients all fresh.
Yep.
Oh, thank you so much. You're so good at this. What's your favorite salad? Do you have one?
I love this salad.
The quinoa?
Yeah, I love it because it's gluten-free. It's nice and it's light, and I love arugula.
I can tell this won't make me bloated and heavy.
Right.
Oh, this is delicious.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, the crunch is good.
Yeah, the crunch is good.
where it's
And then
at.
did you try it with the cranberry?
Yeah, that's what I got. Just a little tart sweetness. Love it. You can connect with Chef Mary by following her on social media. Her handle is @ChefMaryNguyen, or you can stop by an Olive and Finch. They have 5 locations in Denver. Learn more at oliveandfinch.com. Thanks for your company, Colorado. Portions of today's program were sponsored by the businesses listed on your screen. Bye, guys.